I make sure to have all my music be free for download on SoundCloud, but also I make it able to be purchased. I want to explain this. This is kind of like a follow-up video because the last video I posted, I talked about how for years, probably for the past almost 9 or 10 years, all my music has been free for download on SoundCloud. I've already gone in depth about this, at all the advantages and the ROI, or the return on your investment of making your music free, in my opinion, is going to grow your following more. People are going to download your music on SoundCloud to use in DJ mixes, for example, and so much more. That basically, yeah, you're giving your music away for free, but one, most people in this day and age don't really purchase music. They don't really own it. If you think about it, most people just stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, etc. And two, even though, yeah, you're giving it away for free, when someone downloads your music, in this day and age, they're going to use it for a specific purpose. That they might use it to put in a video on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc. They might use it in a DJ mix and so much more. So it's a big advantage to have all your music be free for download on SoundCloud. In addition, though, I release my music on DistroKid, right? I've done a bajillion videos about DistroKid, and I have had some people, and I've gotten some comments on this channel of people saying, well, Mark, wait a minute. So you're telling me that your music's for free for download on SoundCloud, but what about Beatport? If I go to Beatport, I have to purchase your music. If I go to some other sites where you can buy your music isn't free on other sites. And here's the thing that I am going to say about this is leave it up to the person. I think the way that I distribute my music when it comes to free versus paid, if I word like that, is this. One, if I have the ability to make my music free for download, I do so. So for example, whether it's on SoundCloud, etc. I just make it free. You can download it if you want. But as you can imagine, when it comes to releasing music on DistroKid, take Beatport as an example, if you want to download one of my songs on Beatport, you can't really do it for free. You have to pay for it. And this is something that I will say for me, just given the way music distribution works, because I know this can seem a bit kind of confusing, is I do leave it up to the person. Because there are some people who said to me, like, hey, Mark, I saw that your song was on SoundCloud, obviously, but I also saw that your song was on Beatport or another site like iTunes, for example, or something like that, where I could download the song. I actually purchased your song just to support you. I knew that I could get it for free, but I decided not to because I want to support you. I want to support your music, what you're doing, etc. So this is something I will say that usually depends upon the person of if they want to support you or not. And in addition, there are some sites that, to be honest, I think Beatport's kind of a good example of this, and other ones that if you try to release your music for free, there might be some conflictions. There might be some issues. And I know this can seem a bit kind of odd, like say from a releasing perspective, and that's why I wanted to do a kind of like a dedicated video about this, that you're like, wait a minute, so some places online my music's free, but other places online my music isn't. Is that confusing? Am I misleading people? Like, will people be frustrated that they downloaded or purchased my album on one site without realizing that they actually could have gotten for free on another site? And I'd say, to be honest, the answer is really no. I mean, you might get some people a little frustrated, but the truth is, in this day and age, people are kind of stuck to the medium that they're typically stuck to. There are some people who swear by SoundCloud. There are some people who swear by Spotify. There are some people who swear by Bandcamp, for example. I've never really talked about Bandcamp too much on this channel. For me personally, I haven't really noticed a good ROI, but it is free to upload your music on Bandcamp, and people can download it via Bandcamp. And there are some artists who swear by Bandcamp, for example, right? So people are going to swear by their own platform that they use. And this is what I say to everybody: have your music, if you can, be in as many places as possible, free or purchased. Have it be in as many places as possible. So when it comes to the releasing strategy that I have, for example, of course, once I release music on DistroKid, that's always my first stop because I want to make sure that the artwork, the titling, the song format, like stores do, or DistroKid especially, kind of reviews your release and make sure that everything has, all the checks and whatnot, like all the bells and whistles are in place, so to speak, where in terms of like everything looks good, then they release it, right? And the good thing about DistroKid is it just goes off to all the stores. You do kind of one release and then it goes everywhere. Then I might release on SoundCloud, for example. Then I'll go to YouTube and manually release my song as well. Because like I've said in a lot of videos, not only does that auto-generated video get put on a YouTube topic channel, but you can also manually release it on your own channel. And by the way, you should, because there's a lot of advantages that I have talked about. Then what I might do is I might go to maybe other places. Maybe I'll release it on Bandcamp. Maybe I'll send it to blogs. I don't know, like there's a lot of different strategies, but in general, the biggest thing I can suggest to so many people is release your music in as many places as possible. If that means as well of like you, I don't know, like creating a bunch of reels and you post it on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts. If you, like say, create as much content as you can about your music and release it, that's going to be your biggest advantage, right? And I'm just going to say this because I can see the confliction. Jumping back to the original point of this video, I can see it being a bit weird, being like, wait a minute, Mark, but someone typically can buy my music on all these platforms because I'm releasing it on DistroKid. Why would I also post on SoundCloud and make it free when people can either get it for free or purchase it? Why wouldn't everyone just go to SoundCloud and download it for free? One, I will say this, that when it comes to SoundCloud, it is not as obvious that it's a free download. You have to click those like 3 dots and then click download and whatnot. This is why a lot of artists will actually put free download in the title of their song, just so they let people know, like, hey, this is free for download. For me, I don't do that. I don't know why. I don't like that being right out in the open. Although I do kind of get it. It isn't a bad strategy, but for me, I'm like, okay, if people see it and they download it and they know it's free, awesome. But I just want things to look at least a little more polished. You know, again, I'm not saying there's anything bad with it saying free for download, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that's the weird thing about SoundCloud. It doesn't look as obvious when you go on it. So some people might not even know that my music is free. And then in addition, like I said, some people actually might go out of your way. And a lot of you, like say your dedicated fans, might go out of their way to purchase your music because they want to support you.